Lesson 29 is titled Composing Phrases and Sentences at the Keyboard. And again, the objectives of this session are to think and compose at the keyboard and to compose responses to questions at the phrase and at the sentence level. So we're taking up the third category of composition in lesson 29. Lesson 29 starts on page 150. In the middle of page 150, it says composing phrases at the keyboard, and it says in lesson 28 you worked on single word responses in your composition process. In this lesson, lesson 29, you're going to focus on developing your phrase response and your sentence response levels. And under that, exercise 29.5. I I goofed on the first lesson's exercises. I did not type in the number, so I promise you I will do it correctly in lessons 29 and lesson 30. So, but let's look over the instructions. For the first question in each group, type the number followed by a period, press the tab key, press the letter and a period, and press the space bar once and then type the question. After the question, press the space bar once and type your answer in the format of a short answer or phrase and then press enter. Then for the next question, press the tab key, type the question letter followed by a period, then type your question and then type your answer and then press enter and repeat until you're done. Think about the question as you key the question and then try to key your answer as quickly as possible after you strike the question mark and space bar at the end of the question. So on page 151, you have 4 blue blocks for exercise 29.5. Let's go to keyboarding here, and I'm going to go back to unit content so I can go to the correct lesson. Let's click on lesson 29. Oh, there it is right in front of us, but now we've got it just by itself. And we're going to go to 29.5, which is right here, short phrases drill. The screen should be very similar to what we were using in lesson 28. It is. It says the directions are in the book. The words a minute timer begins when you start typing. And like I said in lesson 28, don't worry about that. Just type and compose and click finished when you're done. Okay. Key the text in the box, click finished when you're done. The first thing we do is type the number and a period and press the tab key. Type an A and a period, press the space bar. What is the name of a town and state or province that you would like to visit? Alright, I'm going to type Massachusetts. Massachusets. I learned that song in kindergarten when I was watching Captain Kangaroo, how to spell Massachusetts, and it stuck with me. I'm 62 years old. I still sing that song that I learned when I was 5. So, don't ever put your education behind you. Always remember what you learn. Okay, I'm going to press the enter key. I'm going to hit the tab key. Aha, a little interesting space there. I'm going to hit the space bar, and what are your instructors' first and last names? Okay, Leslie Ratliff. C. What is the president's or prime minister's last name? Okay. In question number 1, province refers in our continent to Canada. C, I need a space there. What is the president or the prime minister's last name? Again, in our continent, North America, prime minister refers to Canada. I was just there. Trudeau. Prime Minister Trudeau. Actually, his father was Prime Minister several years ago, and now he is the Prime Minister of Canada. But in the United States, our president's last name at the current time is Trump. Press the enter key, tab D, space bar. What is the name of this book? Good heavens, I'm going to have to look. It is called Keyboarding and Applications 1. Keyboarding and it's actually the ampersand and applications and an uppercase I for the 1. Okay? Hit the enter key, press the tab key, E period space bar. What is the name of this course? Document production. And then I'm going to put a comma and I'm just going to put BUS and 1440 there. Okay, I'm done with the first box of questions and I'm going to stop at this point. We're going to proofread everything first. I think the reason that this spacing is off here on the A, B, C, D, and E is because I repped to a second line for the first question. What is the name of a town and state, that you would like to visit? I should put, I'm going to say Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, it asks for a town and a state or a province. Okay, Boston, Massachusetts. What are your instructor's first and last names? Leslie Ratliff. What is the president's or prime minister's last name? Trump. What is the name of this book? Keyboarding and Applications 1. What is the name of this course? Document Production, BUSN 1440. I don't see any obvious errors, so I'm going to click Finished. And I'm going to click Next. And then we'll move on to longer phrases. Instructions are on 151, 152. Words a minute timer starts when you do. Click Finish when you're done. And in the box here, we're going to key the incomplete statements that are listed and complete each sentence by keying the appropriate phrase in replace of the blank line. Type the number, a period, and press the tab key at the beginning of each sentence. Press the enter key at the end of each sentence. 1, period, tab. Because the clock was wrong, I was early for next week's meeting. That's my response. Now, these are longer phrases. It could be considered a sentence because I was early for next week's meeting is particularly or is exactly a complete sentence, but it finishes the phrase that started this number. I did misspell because, so let me fix that. And then we're going to go back to the end of number 1, press the enter key, type a 2, a period, a tab key. Because the road was icy, I almost hit the car in front of me. That really happened one time. Back in the 90s when Atlanta had a blizzard or snowstorm or something. I don't remember if that was the year of the blizzard. It was icy and I was on my way to work in Atlanta and I slid. All right, I misspelled because again. All right, number 3. Because. But you can make up your answers to these. The team won. I got another point on my football pool. Number 4. Because I was late, my grandson went to the appointment with his sister. Number 5. Because I'm going to just correct that as I'm typing it. I cannot drive. My son takes me to the grocery store. Okay. I'm going to proofread it again. It's always good to proofread more than once. Because the clock was wrong, I was early for next week's meeting. Because the road was icy. Or maybe we should say today's meeting. Here, this is part of composition. Because the clock was wrong, how could I be late for or early for next week's meeting? It should be today. Because the clock shows me today's time and current time. I was early for today's meeting. Okay, that's a part of composing. You read things over again to see if they make sense. Because the road was icy, I almost hit the car in front of me. Because the team won, I got another point on my football pool. Because I was late, my grandson went to the appointment with his sister. Because I cannot drive, my son takes me to the grocery store. Okay, I'm finished with that one, so I'm going to click finished. And the exercises are longer, so go ahead and finish the entire exercise. I'm doing this for time's sake and video uploading sake. On page 152, you have sentences as the drill. I'm going to click next. And it says, read each sentence and compose a full sentence that answers each question. Before each sentence answer, type the question number, a period, and press the tab key. For example, in response to the first question, you might key the following. The first question is, what does a police officer do? Your answer would be, a police officer enforces the law. You can type that, or you can type something extra. It doesn't, or different. It doesn't matter. All right. So, are we typing the numbers this time? Read each sentence and compose. For example, before each sentence, type the number. Yes. 1. Tab. What does... Oh, we're not supposed to type the question this time. Or are we? Try to hesitate to key your... Read each sentence and compose a full sentence and answers. Before each sentence answer, type the question number or period. I guess it is just the answer. Okay. 1. What does a police officer do? In complete sentences, a police officer helps people. Number 2. What does a plumber do? A plumber fixes leaky pipes. Number 3. What does a firefighter do? A firefighter saves people's homes and lives. All right, I'm not going to go on to further questions, but these are complete sentences. They start with a capital letter. They end with a punctuation mark. There is a subject and verb in each one of these sentences. The first one is officer helps. The officer is the subject, helps is the verb. Number 2, plumber is the subject, fixes is the verb. 3, firefighter saves. Firefighter is the subject, saves is the verb. The other words are modifiers and objects, so make sure that you type your answers in complete sentences with proper capitalization and punctuation. Alrighty, finished. And the next exercise you have in lesson 29 is again another 3-minute timed writing. And you will be doing timings 29.3 and 29.4. Again, one's for speed, one's for accuracy. Speed has to be at least 25 words a minute on the timed writing. Accuracy, the fewer errors you have, the higher your grade will be. When you do an accuracy timed writing, you still have to have at least 25 words a minute. Every single timed writing that you do in this class for accuracy also has to have the speed component satisfied. When you're doing a timed writing practice for speed, all you have to do is meet the speed. Now, the timed writings that you have on test this semester are for accuracy and for speed. They both count. So in essence, every timed writing you do must or should have at least 25 words a minute and 3 or fewer errors on 3-minute timed writings. So, but on a speed practice drill, as long as you meet the speed, 25 words a minute, you're good for that grade. If it's an accuracy timed writing, you have to meet the speed of 25 words a minute and you have to have 3 or fewer errors. Okay. If you look on page 154, you can see that there is a 5-minute timed writing. You can do those now for practice if you'd like, but we will not be doing 5-minute timed writings until midterm, and then we'll do them from midterm to the end of the semester. Alright, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Email me, ask me in class, whichever is more convenient and timely for you. And let's move on to the last lesson in Unit 5.